right now because radio on the internet. It's a radio on television, I guess. Basically, watch radio happen. But we should have everything like it's audio from the board. All the interfaces are working. The cameras are all working. Here, let me move this camera so you can see Ethan a little better.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't look at my hair. It needs to be cut.
That's okay.
It's 670s hair.
We set up the studio, and the one thing we didn't set it up for was any sort of streaming sort of thing, because we've got these huge, the microphone cranes, and it's in everybody's face, no matter where you put a
camera on the roof.
just straight down. So what's been going on in your life, Ethan? How's your week going so far? You said you're done. Are you done with the semester?
Done with college, and
for now.
Yeah, for now.
Not done.
Not done. I wish. Man, I'm not going to be done for a while because I only did 2 classes this semester.
Oh, yeah, that'll set you back.
Yeah.
So this was the end of your first year of college experience then, correct?
Yeah, I could do summer classes, but I really don't want to torture myself my first summer.
Don't do what I did. I took all my math classes in college and summer school. So
Ouch.
8 to 11 every day for 6 weeks. And then it's done, and then you can just go about your life and forget it all.
I'd almost prefer to have the summers off because more stuff happens then, so then I get to go work news then, and then it's
That's
a lot
true.
funner.
That's true. There's a lot going on in the summertime.
More rewarding.
That's right. Wow. So, what's your takeaway after you did the high school experience? You did college experience. What's the differences for you?
Well, I would say it's very much online. It's very, very online.
Is it still?
Yeah. There's not going to be... it depends on the class and the teacher. Some teachers will use the in-person class time doing assignments and fun activities and have barely any online work, like my public speaking class that I love, right? Because it's a real class. And then you'll have another class like sociology where he just kind of talks about all of the stuff that's in the book, but then doesn't tell you what any of it means and basically tells you to read the book. So then the entire class is you sitting at home reading the book, and then you're like, well, what's the point of going to in-person class? Then you dread going in person, you dread doing the work, and it just becomes a horrible class.
Right. Oh, man.
And nothing against the teacher that teaches sociology is real nice and stuff. It's not like he's mean or anything, but it's just not really a fun class. It's like he makes it the most boring. He's horrible at presenting the subject, I think.
Oh, okay. What subject was it again?
Sociology.
That's, yeah. That's such an amorphous kind of topic that it's one of those classes I remember from my college experience. It's really hit or miss as to whether or not you just have a good professor. You have a good teacher.
It's so complex too, and there's just so many layers to it. And then he'll just leave out something, and you'll have this giant blank spot in your notes where you're waiting to fill it in, but he just never covers it again.
Oh man,
that happens so much in that class. It was miserable to be in. You couldn't even sit through the lecture.
I remember being stricken with going off to community college, which is what I did after high school, and just being I was shocked at how they treated you like a human compared to how they treated you.
I do like that a lot.
Yeah. Like you're under your own power, kid. You're in charge of yourself. And I'm like, it was almost like I don't know, disconcerting. I was like, whoa, you're gonna treat me like this? I'm not sure I'm ready to be treated like this because nobody's done this before. But it was a nice change.
All my teachers end up liking me, right? My teacher in sociology kind of pulled me out of the side of class, and he's like, oh, I noticed you wearing the Fidel Castro t-shirt, and brings that up. And he goes, oh, yeah, I studied revolution, and that was what I majored in and stuff. So then he goes and talks to me about, the history of a revolution for 20 minutes after class. My other teacher, Daniel Chick, right, he's into restoring, old electronics, kind of, and he's, into old video games. So we'll just go and sit and talk about, old Xboxes after class for 20 minutes. And it's funny because I get along with all my professors like they're my friends. That's the closest bond I end up with in all the classes.
In the class of the professors, that's bad. But see, you do that though. You get in. You were talking about talking to the person who runs Sylvia's attic over there. I assume, is it Sylvia?
Yeah, I think that's her name. I don't know if her name is Sylvia or anything.
She's the namesake for it. But you tend to kind of get into people like that, get into their stories and stuff. Yeah. That's cool. That's
when my car broke down out front of Patriot. There's this guy that's always out there with his bike. And I don't really pay too much attention to him. I walk past him every day. But he tried to help. He's like, oh, I used to be a mechanic for 20 years, and I stopped being a mechanic after cars started breaking down. And he basically just starts talking to me about his life. And, yeah, it's just real interesting to get to know people.
What is it about you that invites that from people? They just want to share their story with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been like that. Ever since I was a little kid, my parents used to open the stand at the farmer's market, and I'd just go around and ask for free stuff, but then the people would just kind of talk to me about their stand. Then I'd get interested, and I'd sit there and listen to them talk about the copper rings they make for an hour.
Oh my God, see, that's just it. You're born to this job then. That's perfect. You get people to open up to you like that, then that's half the job. And a lot of times the anxiety that people experience doing anything anything in public, anything with the public, but especially with journalism, where your job is to get people to talk to you. You have to be engaging in that way. And so much of the anxiety a lot of people experience is that they're not comfortable doing that because they don't have just a natural born, like, I don't know, talk to me face like you do. Just I don't have that gift. But yeah, once you get that down, you can accomplish anything in life. That's something I learned, kids. You learn how to just act in front of other people, even if you're faking it. It's okay. You can accomplish anything.
Well, you think about it, in all the stories, the nosy reporter never has any friends.
That's true. Yeah. Will your friends become like your source, or your sources will become your friends?
I think I annoyed Gary Honeycutt. You know, sometimes I'll get back to him and he'll be like, yeah, at some point, and they'll just never give me a date or anything, and they'll just not reply for like weeks, and then I'm like,
yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. Every single time I get back to him, we'll be like, yeah, at some point we'll go to I'm assuming maybe he's waiting on weather, but he still hasn't gotten back to me, so I should just probably message him again. I don't know. I don't want to be like, my parents say, oh, you're supposed to be the journalist. You're supposed to like be, poking and prodding him, message him every week and shit.
It's a balancing act. You got to not do it too much.
Yeah, I don't want to just be like bombarding him. Yeah. But then again, once every month seems kind of sparse too.
So what, you're just waiting on it? So it's local paranormal investigator Gary Honeycutt, and you've got a piece that's kind of been in process now for a couple of months, right?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I don't really know why he hasn't gone back.
Maybe he's got things going on. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe is there a ghost? Busy. Is there a ghost season? Is he waiting for the ghost season to start?
Could probably just have to do with like lack of clients. Maybe, I don't know. Was really cold last time we went.
Oh, right. Yeah, and you were out by the river and stuff at night. That was like, yeah, I don't know. So I wish they'd let us do we asked if we could do the lighthouse, if we could do a paranormal, and they came back with the historical society, and we're down with the historical society, but they came back with like, no, it's like a policy of ours not to have paranormal investigations. And I'm like, oh, that's like a policy, like written down someplace. Okay, all right, no ghost hunting. Don't ask. So you're working on the passports piece for the how's that going for the historical?
It's going good, but I haven't gotten to work on. I didn't stop by this weekend like I said I would. I'm sorry, I'm bad about that. I end up like sleeping in until like 12, and you're like, well. I
did the same thing all weekend long, so no sweat.
All right, but I was gonna work on it when Monique's done with that computer and see if I can get it finished up today.
Yeah, that's I'm interested in that. It's a great piece. I've seen your first pass at it, and it just seems like a really fun policy, or not a policy, but program, like a fun thing to go do, right? Now they're doing it once a month.
Yeah, I think once a month.
Tell the people about it. What is the Historical Society?
Well, the Historical Passport event is put on in conjunction between Goal and the Historical Society. Goal was greater outdoors activities and learning. I love how I remembered that.
Well, yeah, and in the video, it's really charming because the woman he's talking to, that Ethan talks to, has to look down at her T-shirt to remember what what it stands for. It's really sweet.
But the event basically, they do every month. It's a different zone that's kind of themed with different history. We did Zone A, right? And Zone A is themed around like our nautical history. So we learned about the tsunami, and we walked around the museum, and then we walked down H Street, and there's basically this old Victorian house, and it's basically the line of where the Victorians didn't get destroyed because that's where the tsunami reached up.
Oh, wow.
And the lady mentioned, because I guess the lady like owned the house for a while, is this old law office, and she mentions how the chimney got like destroyed in the tsunami, but the house survived. So it's the original architecture, but the chimney's new.
Oh, wow. See, that's really cool. I really like that.
We just kept walking down. We learned a little bits about the tsunami as we went, how like the Memorial Plaza used to be 2nd Street before the tsunami, right? And we learned about like how the shoreline used to be closer up on Front Street, and then they extended it out with the debris from the tsunami. And we went to the SS Medio bow, and we basically just went all around town. Anything that was relevant to nautical history or the tsunami we talked about.
Wow.
The next zone is going to be I think the Lake Earl area, if I recall.
Okay. Oh,
so
neat.
It's going to be more like the Tolowa history and such.
Sweet. All right. I'm gonna jump. I want to go get some water. I'm getting really thirsty. So we're gonna get into some music here for just a couple of seconds, and then hopefully we'll be back and we'll be streaming and talking again and continuing on our conversation. Real quick though, next passport, was that this weekend? This last weekend?
I should have checked.
Okay, we'll look that up. We'll look that up and we'll find out.
I could look it up right now. I have my phone with me.
Yes. There's another journalistic tool. The smartphone. Okay, so just a quick thing here, a little disco inferno for you. I'm going to run next door and grab myself some water here. You're tuned to KFUG Community Radio. Paul Kritz with you, Community Service, the show with the Redwood Voice Youth Media Team. Right now being represented by Ethan Cadell Dorigo. It is 10:29. These are the Tramps.
you're in a small town mid-pandemic and going through the motions, it can be pretty hard to stay connected. It's easy to get caught up in school and work and all those errands you've been procrastinating. So if you're in downtown Crescent City, stop by Coastal Connections to see what it has to offer. Located on 475 K Street, Coastal Connections is a youth drop-in and resource center for transitional age youth, ages 14 to 25. They have a myriad of programs for anyone dropping by. Internet and computer access, a recording studio, a media room with games and movies, assistance with job searches, assistance with homework, and frankly, an airlift out of that same old rut. This could be the place you regularly hang out, bring your friends, or maybe even make some. Coastal Connections. For more information, you can call 707-464-3060 or drop by at 475 K Street in downtown Crescent City, California.
Celebrate some of the best rock and roll ever created Thursday night from 8 to 10. It's Boogie with Stu. 2 hours of Led Zeppelin only on KFUG Community Radio.
KFUG Community Radio. Paul Koritz with you. 10:38 the time. Community Service Show, and Ethan Cadell DeRigo, Redwood Voice Youth Media here too, regaling me to stories of electronic failures or successes. So yeah, if you're soldering on motherboards and stuff, that's advanced.
Yeah, I haven't gone that far yet. I'm nervous with that kind of stuff. I don't want to.
I've never worked out actually soldering. It always seems like I'm one hand short. Like I need a third hand to solder.
Yeah, I haven't given it a try yet, so I was going to practice on other things first. But.
Okay, yeah. Practice with the soldering.
I don't want to go and destroy, like, a lot of the stuff I want to work on, like, with the Xbox, I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's like I pay $25 for it used and stuff, right? But, like, with the tape player, that's from, like, my grandma, right?
Yeah.
It's very sentimental. I mean, even though I have no memories with it, I know it belonged to a family member, right? So it kind of adds a sentimental value. Or like my old neighbor Bruce's boombox, he also died from cancer, kind of I guess coincidentally. Mm-hmm. But I remember he left it at my dad's shop, like right before he died, and he'd always bring it to the shop when they used to work the dispensary together, and they'd listen to music. And all that worked on it was the radio, but I want to fix it and get the tape player and the CD player on it working again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're missing. I was amazed when you're talking about what you were doing with restoring the Xbox, and you're like swapping out lasers and stuff. That's amazing.
It's not too bad. I mean, I thought it was going to be harder when I learned about it at first. I'm like, swapping out a laser, that sounds hard.
Yeah, right. No,
I
it's
watched
just
the tutorial.
Just a little component, like plug and play kind of thing.
Kind of. So with the basically the system, we flip it over. There's 6 screws on the bottom, right, and then the top comes off, and then you see the disk drive and the hard drive. There's one screw in the very center that's holding in the hard drive tray. You pull that out very gently, and like there's all these wires tangling it, so you have to untangle them from the tray, unplug them. So it's kind of like that. But once you get to the disk drive, you kind of have to like unscrew these screws, and the panels on it don't just pop right off. You have to like bend them to get them off.
Oh
so
no!
It's real nerve-wracking with some of them. You have to like bend the back of this panel to slide it off. And,
yikes!
And then once you get into the drive, it's not too bad at all. You slide this thing, which unlocks the laser, so it slides up the tray and pushes the laser up, so it's really easy to see. And then from there, it's 4 screws, and it comes right out.
Wow. I always think I'm just super accomplished when I change like the belt on my vacuum cleaner. That's like it's number of screws, and the trick is put them all down and remember where you put them. Right over here. That's just swapping out lasers and getting things like that. What's the most difficult thing you've ever fixed and gotten working again?
Well, let me think. See, with my girlfriend's Wii U, that was kind of hard, and we didn't really get it working again because it's just a defective that was horribly made. She has like an earlier model of it, or I think she has one that's known to be more reliable, yet it still happened to hers. Basically, the system memory chip, which stores the built-in operating system and everything, right? That's just known to corrupt if you don't use it for a couple of years. It's just known to
just
basically
sitting
stop
by
working.
Wow.
Just randomly, and it's specifically on that system, that one chip. And no, she can't figure out. It's not an easy fix. Supposedly, the only fix that we found that's supposed to work is soldering a SD card to the motherboard, and then you like dump the contents of the chip onto the SD card, and then download a pirated version of the operating system. And
oh my god! How do you solder an SD card to a motherboard?
I don't know, some stupid adapter thing. We don't really want to have to deal with that, so we've kind of given up on it for now. But that was the most difficult, just because. Since it's an 8th generation system, it's really new, right? I mean, now it's over a decade old now, but to me, it's still new, right? But it has some screws, other things like slide off, other things you have to pry off, plastic panels that need snapping and poking and
snapping and poking.
It was a miserable one to take apart. It was
my god,
horrid.
Oh wow.
Don't disassemble a Wii U; it's miserable.
No, I wouldn't even think of it. We had I should have gotten. So we have two cassette players, right? We've got this new one right here that I bought. that we have to hook up. It's just sitting here still. It's got all the things in the plastic. We have to hook it up to the board or somehow to the interface. But I have two. The reason I had to buy this one is I wanted to digitize a cassette. And in the past, I'd done that using one of the components we have here, just using, hooking RCA cables through a digital audio interface and right into a computer and recording and blah, blah, blah. There you go. For some reason now, neither one of the dual cassette components that we had work. Like they just stopped working. And last time I used one, it's been a couple of years, but I used it. It worked. Everything was fine.
When you plug it in, is there any sign of life? Any lights come on?
I want to say yes, but you don't get any motor turning.
It could just be the motor's burnt
Right,
out.
right.
Which is a real easy fix.
Really?
Sometimes it depends on the player. I see, because I've never actually taken apart a tape player. I kind of know the basic components of them and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But some tape players have the motor soldered in, some are bolted in, some are screwed. It just kind of depends on the manufacturer and things.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you want to dink around with them, if you want to look at them or
Good
not.
practice.
I haven't thrown them away. But yeah, you're welcome. You can at least practice your soldering if you want to get in there and mess with stuff. Because they're back on the back porch, so I'm sure they haven't fixed themselves. But yeah, we got a new one. I might as well hook the new one up. But yeah, we've got these other components, and there's something. I'm one of those old guys that's like, man, this thing's broken, but I can't throw it away. Look at all the effort that went into this. Look at all the plastic and metal and all the. No, you can't just throw this away.
I can't believe people throw stuff away. Like when you hear about these people that throw away tapes, you're like, how?
Well, right? Because everybody just accepts the fact that things are made to wear out and be thrown away now.
But then they don't really think about, this videotape's going and sitting in a landfill, and this is plastic.
That's right.
And then think about it's a spool of plastic tape. I mean, this is probably going to be something that's going to be hard to degrade, right? Once it spreads out, tons of microplastic everywhere, right?
So if you're lucky, you get a decade's worth of use out of some item, and then it'll go sit for 500,000 years in a landfill someplace. Yeah.
I think throwing a tapes is a horrible thing, not only from the perspective, it's a movie that you could watch, or I like collecting them, but just in the ecological perspective, because they're probably horrible for the environment compared to just an optical disc, because the tape comes out and goes everywhere.
True, yeah, and there's just more of it too, right?
There's a lot more plastic in it. One single little plastic disc compared to a plastic box, a spool of plastic tape on plastic spools on plastic everything.
It's just wrong. And I think the whole right to repair is a thing we should all have. And I'm thinking about it too. I was just thinking about so AI in the AI future, when everything is computerized and it's all done and it's all AI'd and the service industry is taken care of. All the stores are closed. Everybody's shopping from one central online BS place or whatever. Whether it's Amazon or whatever comes after, whatever eats Amazon, Alibaba, who knows? But whatever the future holds, the thing that won't go away, the human aspect, I think, of that won't go away, it will be like there will always be a call for the service of repairing things, and I think that will become even more important as we all become poorer, so that. Like I was thinking about, media, like us. I mean, I can argue about how AI in the future, it shouldn't, we should stick around and tell human stories. But no, probably the first thing that'll be taken over by AI will be media. And then we'll all suffer from it because it'll all be AI media and it'll be divorced from the human experience, blah, 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 all this other stuff. But the last place, I thought about this, the last kind of place I was thinking local business that would close would be like the guy in your dad's old shop who's repairing bikes. Because even no matter what's going on
everybody's going to ride a bike.
We're so far away from having any sort of AI quote unquote infrastructure that will be able to fix a bike for you. Like we'll have things that'll generate content and
you can make
chat.
a machine that makes 10 million bikes, but we don't have a machine that can fix the bike.
They can sit, because every broken bike is going to have its own individual problem usually, and will need to be diagnosed and will need to be put together. It's a problem. It's an advanced problem solving thing. Not that AI can't do that. I just don't. I think the last piece of the human economy that will disappear will be the part of the service industry to fix broken things.
Yeah, and if AI can't repair a bike, I mean, think about a television, a modern television, especially like an LED flat screen. There's a reason people just throw those away. There's no real easy way to fix a panel of little lights when you find a light that goes wrong. Well, how are you going to take that out? It's a little tiny, almost microscopic LED. Like, what are you going to do? With the CRT television, right, the issues are very different. but at least they're somewhat easier fixable. Oh, the screen's out of alignment. Just to readjust the diffusion coil.
What happens if you lose a line of I forget if they were called pixels. They weren't called pixels. I forget what they were called. But you'd lose like a whole
scan line.
A scan. Yeah, you'd lose like one whole line that would just be dead in the middle of your screen.
I've never had that happen, and never heard of that happening yet.
Really? Oh no, that was the thing. Like with CRTVs, that's what would wear out. That's one way that the cathode ray thing would go bad on you. And it would just be like this one dead line, like your TV had a stroke.
Because they have these magnetic things on the sides of the bulb that draw out the light. That's how you get the scan lines. So I wonder if it has something to do with that. I don't know enough about. I know a little about CRTs. I think I can maybe. I have no experience with it. It's just very little I know from hearing a couple of videos. I watched restorations of them and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's just. But see, at least you know what you don't know.
Yeah, like I want to confidently talk about like a CRT television versus like the Xbox. I've been working on it all week, right? And I know every screw, every size of screw, right? So
still, the important part is remember where you put those screws. That's what always gets me.
Yeah, thankfully each screw on it's pretty distinctive, so it's not too hard to mess it up. Like with the Wii U, all the screws look identical, but then they're all slightly different lengths.
Oh no, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So if you screw in the wrong one, it'll just like kill it. It'll break through something.
Oh jeez. I don't know. It is 12 minutes away from 11 o'clock. You're tuned to KFUG Community Radio. Paul Kurtz with you and Community Service the Show, sitting around with Ethan Cadell Dorigo. It's been a nice sitting around talking sort of day, even earlier with the Morning is Broken show. Between 7 and 9, I was in here getting ready to do tax document stuff and working on getting the stream going and making sure we remembered how to stream, how to live stream. And we do. We're live streaming right now at the KFUG Community Radio YouTube channel. But all of that, a dress rehearsal for a thing we're doing tomorrow night. And then Jessica St. R. Andrews shows up. She was borrowing a camera. She was going out on a boat out to sea for a story, going whale hunting. Not like that. Going out like whale looking.
Whale watching.
Whale watching. That's it. There's a term
whale
for
stalking.
it. Just creeping up on a whale like that.
Kids. Oh no.
But I think her hope was to find she was hoping to see the I guess there's orcas out there, and they got that last whale that washed up dead someplace, and so she's hoping to get out and talk whales, going out with a marine biologist and Tim Petrick, the harbor master, and going to be cruising around on the swells out there looking for whales. So she came by to borrow a camera because her camera is junk, and we have cameras just laying around here. And it was just nice sitting and talking to her, and we streamed it and sat here and caught up, and it was cool having Jessica back on. Reminded me of the days when she'd park herself on that couch there all day and write her articles. So it was a nice homey experience. Coffee with the Jessica. All right, so yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. I want to get back into some music here, get us up over the top of the hour. We've got some voice work that the Redwood Voice team has been working on for Taryn Musbach and Shane Gospel, I believe, for the school district, but what are they about? Mental health. It's mental health stuff.
Yeah, it's like sources of strength, I think. Something like that.
Right. Mental health and kids. And also coming up later this month, too. You remember the thing we did way back where we got Bryce, where we went to the cultural center all day?
Oh, yeah.
That day where we did and we completely forgot about the one for middle school kids. The 6th grade is coming up. We have to come up with something to do media-wise.
It's fun to be the face of indoctrination. I remember watching those videos as a kid, and it's all like the older kids talking, and I'm like, oh, this is the way I contribute to my community. Now I could be like that, right? It's cool.
That's it. You're going to be a barker for the man. I feel so bad because we were supposed to go and enrich blah, blah, blah. We just did the first one to get to find people to work for us. And we did. We met Bryce, and Bryce was all like, oh, you guys are hiring, and now Bryce works for us. So I'm not sure. We'll have to put together a raison d'etre for our day spent in the cultural center. It's something. I don't know. We'll talk more about it. But yeah, let's get up to some music, and then that's why you guys have done the voice work. I'm going to get that together and email it to.
How about some commemorative tunes for Victory Day?
It is Victory Day. This is an interesting thing. Did you know that the Nazis surrendered to the Soviets on a different day than they surrendered to the U.S. and the British? And do you remember why? I don't remember why that is.
I think it just had something to do because they're just right on Berlin. They didn't want all the warfare and shit.
Well, yeah, I know, but they but they surrendered to the Western Allies first,
Oh, they
right?
surrendered to the West first?
On the 8th, right? Yeah.
Oh, wait, isn't it just a time zone thing?
Is it just a time zone thing?
I think it might just be a time zone thing, because now that I think of it, they're like 12 hours ahead of us. And I remember people...
But no. The surrender would have happened. We got to look and see.
Yeah, we got to look into it, because it could have just been probably just a time zone.
No,
thing.
it was some sort of thing. Like, I want to say it was like the Soviets didn't want to share the stage with the Western Allies, or vice versa, or something. The Soviets wanted their own, and they deserved their own.
I mean, yeah, with their losses and I mean,
Yeah.
it's like an insane... They call it the Great Patriotic War for a reason. They're
It's
fighting
not.
for the right to live.
It's not World War II. It wasn't World War II to the Russian people and the Soviets. It was the Great Patriotic War.
I
Because,
always forget the word patriotic. I gotta go and get the translate up again. But I remember great was Velikaya and Vina is war. It was like I'll just do it real quick.
I only know of one song that we have in our playlist that has anything to do with World War II.
We'll meet again.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. There's two. There's another one by I forget who did it. Red Foley, and it's all about kicking Japanese butt, and it's kind of like what. Like, what's he singing about? Oh my God! It's kind of like when you watch those old cartoons and all of a sudden Porky Pig curses at you because it was made for GIs, that kind of thing. It's just a weird.
It's like the old jazz music where it sings about sex and weed.
Yeah,
and you're like, wait,
right.
what?
Yeah. Pre-code jazz music about marijuana. Exactly. That's
And
exactly.
it's Velikaya Otechestvenaya Vina. It's Great Patriotic War in Russian.
It's like wow. Yeah. If there was one place you did not want to be for World War II, and there were lots of places to not be for World War II, Soviet Union, anywhere near or around or involved with the Soviet Union is all absolute worst, most venal and horrible human experiences happen on the Eastern Front.
Any of the Pacific Islands, China.
Oh God, yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, because we forget about the Japanese were just as bad as the Nazis. They believe they're the superior Asian race. When they came into Vietnam, at first people cheered, "Oh, our Asian liberators! They're gonna free us from the French." But then they saw they are just as brutal as the French.
Yep, that's absolutely true. Yeah, and the racism between the Japanese and and GIs and the American GIs was horrible.
They went both
Both
ways. Yeah, the
ways,
Japanese
yeah.
believe they're demons that ate babies and
Right.
dead serious. That was stuff
There's
they
some
had in their
reason
propaganda.
that the civilians jumped to their deaths in Okinawa because they believed that and then all these that we were like apes. We were like big, weird, hairy, crazy apes coming in to kill and rape
And
everybody.
we see it the other way around
Yeah,
too, right? We
yeah.
see them, dirty Japs, right? And we saw it the exact same way.
Okay, message taken. Perhaps there was no particular place to be. I've just read a whole bunch about the brutality.
Yeah, we
and the
forget about what
horror.
we did to our soldiers that were African American.
Oh God, right? Yeah.
That was horrible. There's times that the African American soldiers witnessed their own men being beat to death by white officers, and then they would go and rise up, and then the revolution would be crushed by other soldiers, and then they'd be buried in a mass grave.
You ever heard of the Battle of Brisbane?
Is the one in Australia with the mass grave that I was just referencing?
No. What were you referencing?
So basically, there was this one group of U.S. soldiers that were stationed in Australia as these African American troops, and
Yeah.
one of their sergeants were beat to death by a white officer. So in retaliation, they went and got a bunch of weapons from the armory, and they gunned down the officer's tent. And then in retaliation, they sent a unit from the Australian army, but they refused to do it, so they had to send a unit from the U.S. army to go and take them out. And then they buried them in a mass grave, and it was covered up for quite a few years.
That may have been a part of the Battle of Brisbane. The Battle of Brisbane, as I understand it, was that there was a bunch of issues between white and black American servicemen stationed in Australia, and the Australian servicemen and authorities did not like that and stepped in and broke things up, and that led to a big melee riot for several days. That was basically.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one too. It was just the riot in the streets.
Yeah, but it went on.
Yeah.
It was between American and Australian basic military.
Yeah, I read a
units,
huge article about riots that happened in the Australia and New Zealand because it happened a lot too. And with New Zealand, there's a riot that broke out because there's U.S. soldiers sleeping with the wives of
That
people
was
that were in New
another thing,
Zealand.
because I guess
Yeah.
the U.S. soldiers would show up, and these Commonwealth soldiers in the British Empire, the U.S. soldiers would show up, and they were being paid like 3 times the amount of money, and so they'd come in and just throw their money around and get all the women, and that was another reason that it was like a big deal. There was also there were riots and fights and things that happened in England for the very same reason.
Yep.
American servicemen would go to a club someplace and they would not like the fact that black people
And
were
then they
in
try to
there.
kick them out, and then it'd get to the point where the person who owns the club or bar would put up a sign that says "No white Americans allowed."
White
sometimes.
American, exactly, because to the British people, under the threat of war, the existential threat of war, whether you were from Jamaica or if you were from Africa, any place in the British, you were a British subject, just like the white person standing next to you. Before you were a black person or a white person, you were a British
They
subject.
still had segregation and stuff in their
Yeah,
army,
yeah,
but yeah.
they
They were
did.
a little ahead of us in the sense of like, oh, you're kind of a person.
Yeah,
We were
exactly.
like, you're not a person at all, right?
You're kind of a person in the same way that we're all not really people in relationship to the king. So it was like that.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
British subjects, and so the British were like, "Hey, don't get all up in our, our black and brown soldiers. They're ours, and you can't kick them out." And it was just a weird.
Still see a unit
racist
from the British
cluster.
Raj though, where they're all in turbans, they're all Indian or Pakistani, and then the officer's white and British.
Yep. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
I guess it helps the enemy know which one to shoot though. Oh, shoot the white one. He's the officer.
Oh God! And you're right. And the Japanese were seen as liberators at first. They even had. I'm watching this thing about World War II. It's World War II in real time, and every week there's like a 20-minute video about what happened correspondingly in that week, in this previous week, but back during World War II, and it's going through the war. There's late in the war in 1944, an attempted Japanese invasion through Burma of India. It doesn't go far because they're running out of gas by this point in the war. But they have like a whole Indian army with them that's fighting alongside the Japanese because they're fighting to liberate India from the British. So many different threads and just,
Yeah,
oh
I've
my
heard
God.
issues of soldiers who were Hindu, and what was it that their equipment or something like that, or their cartridges or some were greased and cow grease. It was earlier
grease,
before
yeah.
World War II, but yeah, and then they had to like put their lips to the cartridge, and they had like a huge revolution because of that.
Yeah, the British did that. Yeah. I also want to say I do believe that there was something in just more recently in Iraq with pork and pork fat and pork grease on ammunition that we used. I think that was also a thing. Yeah. Takeaway is don't go to war, kids. Okay, let's see. Let's find something that will undo. I don't want to talk about Victory Day now. We'll do this if Amanda is still listening. She'll enjoy this. This is going out to Amanda Doctor at the Food Council. You're tuned to KFUGLP Crescent City 101.1 FM online, kfugradio.org. These are the Dresden Dolls.
The record goes from blue to gold. So thank you for all your help. I know you want to jump around, but try to contain yourself. You always struck me as the type to take it lightly, but now you're gonna have to shut your mouth and fight me. Oh, backstabber, backstabber. You're all alone. You're all over the popular magazines. I'll never guess. What do you care? You're down with the Japanese, but you got no right to sit there saying, oh, you'd wanna be such an asshole. God, you'd wanna be such an asshole. In the room, the crowd screams, sacrifice, deliver. If God takes life, he's an Indian giver. So tell me now what you'll tell me never. Who would wanna be such a control freak? Well, who would wanna be such a control freak? You should see it all. Well, take what you want from me. You deserve it all. 9 times out of 10, our hearts just get dissolved. Well, I want a better place, or just a better way to fall. But 1 time out of 10, everything is perfect for us all. But I want a better place, or just a better way to fall. Here we go. If God controls the land and disease and keeps a watchful eye on me, if he's really so damn mighty, well, my problem is I can't see what who would want to be. Who would want to be such a control freak? Well, who would want to be such a control freak? Evil home stereo. What good songs do you know? Evil me, oh yeah, I know. What good curves can you throw? Well, on that ice and all that cake, I can't make it to your wedding, but I'm sure I'm gonna be at you if you would talking in circles that day. When you get to the point, make sure that I'm still awake. I went to bed and didn't see why every day turns out to be a little bit more like Luke Caspian. Yeah, I know he's a pretty good read, but God, he'd wanna be such an asshole.
I thought that's the last one.
Just like
Could you use assistance with your reading? How about assistance with basic computer skills like word processing, writing a resume, or setting up an email? Do you need help preparing for your GAD or HiSET? Are you learning English as a second language and would like to improve your reading, speaking, and listening skills? Del Norte Reads is here to help with all this and much more. Del Norte Reads is a grant and donation funded nonprofit organization aimed at helping community members with all aspects of functional literacy. All our services are free and we are more than happy to provide accommodations for a diverse group of learners. If you or someone you know could use our support, please call us at 707-464-7072 or stop by and see us in person at 1080 Mason Mall, Suite 9. More information is available at the main branch of the Del Norte County Library. Thanks, and we hope to see you soon.
Hello, this is Zelza. I just wondered if you're getting tired of listening maybe to rap, heavy metal. Well then, tune in to Mixed Grill. We feature vintage rock and roll, jazz, and blues. Tune in and hear everything from Joplin to Miles Davis. That's Mixed Grill with Don Ritter.
Mixed Grill with Don Ritter and, friends? Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 4, only on KFUG.
You just tune in. That's it. I got nothing else. You come to my house, I'll just shut the door.
Again. Don't know where, don't know when.
Been driving all night long just to reach our destination in your town. We've come 500 miles, everyone's asleep, just not a sound. Oh, 18 wheels are rolling,
Lodi, Gateway to Manteca. 11:22 the time. Paul Kurtz with you, KFUG Community Radio. Hey, check this out. It is 60 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, you got satin shoes. Yeah, you got nasty boots. Y'all got cocaine 'twas in another lifetime, one of toil and blood. When blackness was a virtue, the road was full of mud. I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. And if I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her, on that I give my word. In a world of steel-eyed death and men who are fighting to be warm, come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm. Not a word was spoke between us, there was little risk involved. Everything up to that point had been left unresolved. Try imagining a place where it's always safe and warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. I was burned out from exhaustion, buried in the hail, poisoned in the bushes and blown out on the trail. Hunted like a crocodile, ravaged in the corn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Suddenly I turned around and she was standing there, with silver bracelets on her wrists and flowers in her hair. She walked up to me so gracefully and took my crown of thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Now there's a wall between us, something that's been lost. I took too much for granted, I got my signals crossed. Just think that it all began on a non-eventful morn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, the deputy walks on hard nails and the preacher rides a mount. But nothing really matters much, it's doom alone that counts. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows a feudal horn. Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm. I've heard newborn babies wailing like a moaning dove, and old men with broken teeth stranded without love. Do I understand your question, man? Is it hopeless and forlorn? Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm. In a little hilltop village, they gambled for my clothes. I bargained for salvation and she gave me a lethal dose. I offered up my innocence, I got repaid with scorn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, I'm living in a foreign country, but I'm bound to cross the line. Beauty walks a razor's edge, someday I'll make it mine. If I could only turn back the clock to when God and her were born. Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm.
This winter, spread joy, not germs. As soon as you feel sick, test it, treat it, you can beat it. COVID-19 medications like the Paxlovid pill can stop COVID from getting serious and help you test negative sooner. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
We're here, we're already heard, and we want to be seen. We're Redwood Voice, a youth media organization that digs deep into the community and finds the hidden stories of people you may not know in Del Norte County, with the lives of those past and present, and the stories that are a part of our living, all in color at your fingertips. Search up Redwood Voice on youtube.com to see our content.
KFUG Community Radio, that is it indeed. Go to the Redwood Voice YouTube channel. You can go to the KFUG Community Radio YouTube channel because we've got one of each. We got the pair, and see our stream. And in that stream, you would see myself talking at a microphone, and Monique looking at a phone. There she is.
I'm looking at you people.
Yeah, you people. Yeah, give them a point at them like that. Wag your finger at them. So yeah, if you can, we were talking just about shows and things before we went on a Maniac on Netflix. It's from 2018. I have watched it. My daughter told me about it. Madeline told me about it like maybe a month ago. I've already watched it 3 times.
Oh, gee.
And I'm waiting just the requisite amount of time to watch it. It's one of those things, like each episode is like a dream, and you can watch it again and again and hear different things and see different things, and it's just these two people who get wrapped up in this this drug experiment, dealing with deep trauma, and it's just, there's a computer running the whole show, falls in love with one of the researchers. When that researcher dies, the computer becomes suicidally depressed. And
what?
Everything goes, and the computer is played by Sally Field, who is also the mother of one of the researchers and a fan. It's an incredible. It's Jonah Hill, Emma Stone. It is the best television I have watched in a long, long time. Netflix. It's only on Netflix. It's 10 episodes and you're out. It's not like an ongoing sort of thing. It's feels like an anime, looks like an anime. The 10 episode thing, the self-contained arc, it's just beautiful. Right down to, and I wish I could say anything at all about the very last scene that is just, it gives me chills thinking about it. So the reason I'm gushing about a show is because I'm here with Monique Camarena.
Yeah.
Let me do the back announce thing. You're tuned to KFUG Community Radio. We just heard Bob Dylan, Shelter from the Storm. Before that, the Stones, Can't You Hear Me Knocking? Lodi, CCR. We had some Van Halen, Stray Cats, going back even farther in that set. But it is the Van Halen, Stray Cats, and then what? Oh, yes, Weezer, Buddy Holly. We had some Modest Mouse, and started off this hour, and that set with the Dresden Dolls and Backstabber. Okay, so.
There you go.
Monique Camarena is our media appreciation specialist, correspondent, our critic, our in-house critic. And we talked just briefly, I guess it was yesterday, and you said, you hadn't seen any movies or anything to talk about, right?
I only remembered the one I watched on Sunday, which was Star Trek.
Oh yeah, we talked about the Star Trek one.
And then, but actually I've been watching like one something every other day, I feel like.
And I should have known that about you, because I know that about you. So
yeah.
So what else have you been?
Forget.
I'm done with Maniac. Give me something else to get excited about.
I just wanted to say about Maniac. Oh, that looks interesting. How long is each episode? Like an hour?
No, they're like the shortest one is a half. They're very.
Oh, they're
so
short.
The shortest one's like a half hour, and the longest one is like maybe 48, 49 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, wow, that's different. Usually they're like an hour long episodes, 50-something minutes.
It's a Netflix original, so they were like, hey, it's as long as it's going to be. Who knows?
Yeah. But I don't know if I'll watch it because Jonah Hill's in it.
You don't like Jonah Hill?
It's just, every single thing he's in, he's a jerk. That's what I've...
Watch it.
Is he not a jerk in this one?
Watch it.
Okay.
He's the hero.
Oh,
and he's beautiful, and he plays like this quiet, kind of like unassuming, like the opposite of what you're used to Jonah Hill being.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not super bad at all. This is like post whatever the Moneyball Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
He's a known dude now.
Okay.
And so it's Gabriel Byrne is in it. I don't know if you remember Gabriel Byrne. He's from the one movie everybody is The Usual Suspects. He's the main guy in that movie from the 90s, and he's an old guy now. He's super old. He's fantastic. Sally Field should get every award ever for acting. I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wanted to double check. Other than the paraphrasing and then the changes to the interview, that was all you wanted me to change about.
Yeah. I think the rest of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I left my little page that I wrote all that.
I was saying, what else was there? The paraphrasing, and then maybe a little more. Remember in the beginning about how the whole passport scenario works, so that we understood when all the frantic stamping was happening at the end, what was going on.
Yeah, and then I remember now. I did need to bring my passport so I could get footage of that.
That's exactly That's
so
right.
I guess I'll have to hold off one more day before.
Oh no.
We're waiting for this story Ethan's working on. He went and hung out with folks at the Historical Society a couple of weeks back and went on their passport tour thing. And so he's got a video that he's made about it, and we're working toward producing that and putting that out. So I'm sorry, yes.
Jonah Hill. Oh, it's just Don't Look Up. That was on Netflix.
I have not. I haven't watched.
Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
It's like a meteor's about to crash into Earth, and only some people know.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who know are trying to tell everybody, but no one believes them. And it has forgot her name, Katniss Everdeen in it.
Right.
Yeah, but Jonah Hill's
Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence.
Whatever. Not
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer, not Vicky Lawrence. That's a different Jennifer Lawrence. Yes. Yeah.
And
Jonah Hill's in that. Is he a jerk in that?
Jonah Hill's a horrible politician who's so rude. The son of the president.
Oh wow! All right.
And
this is not the usual Jonah Hill role.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Also, 21st Jump Street.
I didn't watch that either.
Oh, he's a jerk. Gets to be a jerk in that one. And also, I watched what's it called? This Is the End.
That's the last Jonah Hill movie I actually watched.
Oh yeah,
This Is the End.
He's also a jerk in that.
Everybody's a jerk in that movie,
that's
though.
True. Well, that's the point. Yeah.
It is the point.
Oh right. So okay.
Michael Cera doing the coke and swatting Rihanna on the butt and all that stuff. Yeah, everybody's a jerk. So but yeah, no.
Okay.
You just give it a shot. Give it a shot and see.
I'll give it a shot if it's a click one.
It is just wow. It is fantastic. All right, so you've been watching stuff. So hip us to things we need to know about.
Let's see. I guess I'll talk about this K-drama I'm watching.
Okay.
Korean drama.
All right.
I don't think it's up your alley, but it's like Hallmark movies? They're like a country boy meets a city girl who just moved in. Yeah, it's like that.
Is it okay? But in Korea?
Yeah. It's actually based in like this fictional little seaside town, like here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's this.
Are they like telenovelas, like on like Mexican TV, Hispanic, but only Korean? Are they like Korean telenovelas? Is that what you're describing?
Yeah. In most K-dramas, there's always things that are the same about each one, like a telenovela, like the same kind of dramatic. They're not that dramatic.
What are the things? What are the same kinds of things that you find? What makes something a K-drama?
Like the tropes. Like what tropes? Like they bump into each other. The couple. They're not a couple yet. Every show they don't become a couple until like 9-10 episodes in.
Really? Is that you gotta spend the time?
Each episode's like an hour. And I finally got to episode 11 where they're a couple now. This is a romance comedy one. Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's really cool. So where do you find them? You watch them online?
They're on Netflix, most of them.
Okay.
There's so many.
Are they in Korean?
Yeah.
That's cool.
They all have a English dub, but why would you watch that?
What?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
Why would you watch a dub?
No, why would you watch the dub of a live action show?
That's
what I
But the
meant.
dub of one of the greatest animes ever,
yes.
that's okay.
We talked about this. Cartoons is okay to have.
It's okay to have the dub in cartoons.
Yeah,
but not in
animes
the live act. Okay.
No.
All right. I understand why. I know exactly what you're
mouths.
saying. It's
It's
the
weird.
mouths. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm just not down with the Haikyuu
Fair.
being dubbed. But that's because I
Yeah.
love the subbed Haikyuu. So okay. So what's the name of the K drama?
Oh, it's called what? Hometown Cha Cha Cha. What is it? Yeah, Cha Cha Cha.
Hometown Cha. Why Cha Cha Cha? Is there dancing in it?
No, I bet it's a Korean word. Cha Cha Cha. I don't know.
I don't think maybe.
Might be.
I think it's from the Cha Cha.
It's kind of like a not crazy show, but just a very silly show.
Silly show. Okay. That's
Yeah.
Hometown cha cha cha.
I
I may need
like
to. I may need to find a trailer for that.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, just but anyway, boy. No, he's not boy. He's 30-something. Born and raised in this town, meets this girl from Seoul, which is the big city in Korea, and then they don't like each other at all for a while because she's high maintenance. He's like does his kind and does everything for everybody, and then they don't like each other for like 5 episodes, and then. Oh, this is another thing. Second guy comes in. The second lead. That's what they call it. There's the first lead's male lead, female
and
lead.
what's the purpose of the second lead?
To make the male lead, the main guy, jealous and to cause some tension or something. Yeah. But now it's okay because episode 10, they finally confess their feelings and stuff. Yeah.
So does it go on after that, or is the whole thing just about them getting together?
Oh no, good. No, it's 16 episodes, and finally there's like 5 more episodes where they're a couple. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't watched that part yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
And they've got to resolve something. They've got to do.
Oh yeah,
accomplish something.
The main guy has some trauma because his parents died and then his grandpa died and.
Oh my God.
A lot of death.
It's Korea.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there's always the mom. Oh, this is another thing. In animes, the mom always dies. You know.
Is that a thing? Is mom? Does the mom? Because I only know.
Lots of shows have the mom die.
Erased.
Oh yeah.
Erased, in which the mom dies.
That's a bit different.
It is different because it's like an alternate timeline kind of thing. She dies in one, but not in the other, and that kind of yeah. Huh? I didn't realize. Okay, maybe I haven't watched enough like other than the drama inborn drama of volleyball.
Oh,
I haven't watched a lot of dramatic ones involving parents. I guess. Yeah.
Oh, it's just a big thing, and like the mom.
Mom
both
dies.
those characters, their moms are dead.
Oh wow.
Like at a young age, when they're like 5, their mom dies.
Is that just
happens a lot?
That's just emblematic of being traumatized, right? That's just a way to show early trauma, to provide an easy, accessible early trauma or childhood trauma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's my okay. All right. What else you got? I don't know if you're right. That's not really up my alley.
Oh,
I don't know if I'll say. I'd really like to watch the trailer, but I don't want to go away from our stream because we're streaming on the KFUG Community Radio YouTube channel. It's not very exciting, but it's technologically fine, and that was the goal of the stream here. In fact, I think the stream is called bandwidthTest. So there you go. But yeah, you can see the inside of the Fug House. And we just have one other person now watching. Well, there's somebody else besides me watching. That's nice.
Who's watching?
I don't know. Who is watching out there?
Is it my dad?
Is it Monique's dad? Mr. Camarena to you? That's great. Oh, my God.
Mom.
All right. So we got the K-pop, and I've told you about Maniac.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? Okay, so we just briefly mentioned, because I'm itching. I need to get to the movies again.
Oh, yeah?
It's been a while. And I tried to talk my wife into going to the movies this weekend, but she was all like, oh, what are we going to do with the dog? And you're like, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah. And that may be an issue. But maybe at some point, we'll take the dog over, let Jinxie hang out with grandparents. So I don't know what's coming. I don't even know what's coming down the pipe.
I can look it up.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What's even at the cath eaters right now?
Catheters. I was going to talk about on... Was it Sunday or Saturday? I watched. No, it was Friday. No, it was Thursday. I watched the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah, I guess that was. I just got the showtimes up for the Crescent City theaters here, and my first impression was there's another Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's the third and last one.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll believe that when I don't see another one. Oh my God! And the Super Mario's brother. I'm not interested.
I saw that too.
Either one of those. Evil Dead Rise. No.
You might like Big George Foreman.
Which is
about George Foreman. You don't like biography?
I don't like biopics. Is it a documentary?
Let's see.
I don't think so. It's probably like a biopic. Somebody's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care. No. Ever since I watched Walk Hard, I cannot watch
what's that?
a biopic. It's the last biopic ever made, and it's a spoof of biopics. Walk Hard. It's the Dewey Cox story, and it's John C. Reilly is a rock and roll guy, and it makes no sense, and the timeline doesn't work, and it's just like he's from the town. His town he's from is called Springberry. It's just a spoof of every biopic. Like his trauma isn't exemplified. He doesn't go blind. He goes smell blind. He loses his sense of smell when he's a kid. Things like that. He knows an encounter, and it's not.
That's funny.
And it's not about the movie isn't a spoof of like a rock and roll scenario. The movie is a spoof of that movie, of that kind of movie, the biopic, and it's brilliant. And I can't sit through a for serious biopic after that.
Oh, they just go through the regular things people go through, but funny.
Exactly, and over the top, and and like his wife is like always, "You're never gonna be anything," and trying to hold him down, and he's got to break free, and it's just it's so stupid and beautiful. I can't watch that. So Big George Foreman, I don't. Dungeons and Dragon and Guy Ritchie's The Covenant.
Hey, they got Grease 45th anniversary of Grease. I don't like Grease.
I don't like Grease either.
Okay.
What else? Is seriously messed up. There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing. Okay. All right.
Well,
What's going on?
The kid movies I like, but no, like art housey.
I'm not even asking for art housey.
Yeah.
I'm asking for just
just a good one,
like we talked about, like A Man Called Otto. That was like a human movie.
Those kind of things.
Right, where people talk and say things and nothing blows up.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Oh, then. No.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Oh, nope. That's no.
Just kids.
I'm gonna look at I'm looking up at the man. So, and I'm sorry. This is maybe the closest thing there, and we didn't mention it, was Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if I'd enjoy that movie either. Maybe.
Let's see.
Maybe I would.
When her family moves from the city to the suburbs, 11-year-old Margaret navigates new friends, feelings, and the beginning of adolescence.
She gets her period in it. That's
Probably.
the takeaway. This is a classic book. This is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful coming of age story for girls and women.
Oh, okay. That's that. I didn't.
I got that, or I've got Guardians of the Galaxy. What the hell am I supposed to do here, man? I don't. Oh.
Well, I think you'd like Guardians of the Galaxy, but you'd have to watch every movie before that.
Nope.
So.
Yeah. That's exactly. So I don't know.
To be sad about the characters.
And even then.
Yeah.
I'll just stay home and watch Rick and Morty tonight. That's what we'll do.
Okay. Oh yeah.
We're going back through. We're watching. It's the last season of Better Call Saul. Came out on Netflix finally.
Oh, really?
Because it comes out on the AMC or wherever it's on television, and then it comes out in England for some GD reason, and it makes you think about, should I get a VPN?
Yeah.
And then it finally came out on Netflix. But it's been so long, and I do like this. Lisa was like, I'll watch it, but we have to go back and start from the beginning, which will be like our fourth time through, because every time, like 2 years goes by, the next season comes out, and we've forgotten it. Okay, so we started again at season 1, and I forgot how great the show is. But this is the last time, because the 6th season's the last season, and it's done. But I do love that show.
That's like my brother. He wants to watch. Well, before a big thing comes out, he wants to watch all the
stuff
before.
going. Yeah,
that's why I'm watching his Star Wars shows. I like the Star Wars shows.
Why? What is he getting ready for some other big release that's going to happen?
Oh, I think because, well, for me to start watching The Mandalorian season 3, and also because that 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi is coming. That Forest Moon Festival's coming out. That too.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
I like the shows. The shows, well, except two. Two of the shows aren't good.
Which shows aren't good?
Oh, they're on Disney Plus. There's this one about Boba Fett, and then what's the other one? Was it just that one? Oh no, there's also this animated one called The Bad Batch.
Okay.
They're just very boring.
Oh wow!
All right. It's so slow.
I've never understood the whole Boba Fett thing.
It's Boba Fett, but he survives the pit he's in, the worm pit.
So what I remember is like even being a kid, like when the first 3 Star Wars happened to us, And I had the little dolls, right?
Oh,
The little action figures. And they had one for Boba Fett. And Boba Fett's like in like 2 minutes of the movie. And I'm like, why did they make an action figure out of Boba? Even as a kid, why would I want the Boba Fett action figure? And now I'm looking back and I'm going, did they know, like 40 years down the road, that Boba Fett would be a big deal and that they'd have these action figures? And then I don't know.
Well, it's because of that show, The Mandalorian.
Right.
Now he's a big deal.
Right.
The actor's a big deal too. Kinda.
Tomorrow
Morse. Oh wait, no. Oh, that's the prequel guy.
Oh my God, there are two?
Oh
no.
Oh right, but you're right. He's only in the originals for like a minute.
Right, he like walks through. He's all, hey, how you doing?
In the back.
Yeah, he's in the background. And now he's like, now they made a thing out of it. They made a thing out of him back then, and I didn't understand why. And
I see, yeah.
You know. Hey, it is 6 minutes away from noon. I'm glad we got to the bottom of Boba Fett here, because it had to happen. You're tuned to KFUG Community Radio, but we'll only be here for another couple of minutes. Coming up at noon is Redwood Voice Community News, the only hour-long newscast that comes out of Del Norte County. And then at 1 o'clock, we've got this week's Health Matters. I talk with P.A. Lynn Zabo and two guests, Kathleen Denault and my wife, Lisa, who are here to talk about Suboxone and the Suboxone programs available to people here in Del Norte and some possible changes happening to those programs. That is Health Matters. It happens at 1. We've got 2 hours of country music from 2 until 4. And then at 4 o'clock, it's Project Censored from the Pacifica Radio Network. At 5 o'clock, the rebroadcast of today's Redwood Voice Community News. And then 6 o'clock, we have an hour of the music of J.J. Cale. After that, the evening opens up. Let's into 5 hours of the blues. It's blues all the way down. Monique will not be listening because there will be a lot of guitar solos.
No.
I just love that. It's every time I try to listen to K-Funk, it's a guitar solo. So you turn it off.
Or it's a banjo.
Or a banjo. That happens too. Banjos and guitar. Yep. That is very, very true.
This will change. I'm going to make playlists.
Yeah. What's that? Sounds like a threat. Today? You make a playlist today?
Yeah, since I have to wait till tomorrow because he's finishing his video.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll do my video tomorrow.
What's going to be in the playlist?
Oh, what should it be? Well, I was going to make a K-pop one.
Uh-huh.
And what else for Asian American? What's it?
Oh,
AAPI month.
Oh, right. Okay, all right.
What do you got? You want a specific country?
No. Although today, Jessica Sanar and I were talking about doing a country music show, in which we just picked a specific country.
Oh.
So on today's country music show, Uganda,
and
okay. And play the music of the.
Asia.
But all of Asia. Yeah, we were talking. Yeah, like gamelan, doing a gamelan show. That'd be cool. I like that. I love Indonesian music. So yeah, I don't know if you want to do one in Asian just.
I was going to do more recent songs, but we could do older songs.
No, do it all. Do representative. I don't know. Whatever you want. Don't do. Choking on my own spit. Don't do don't do the folk stuff, and don't do like gamelan. I say do contemporary. What's pop music in different parts of Asia sound like?
Oh, all right.
That'd be really cool.
It's all connected to K-pop.
Is it all good? That's fine. Is it K-pop? Is K-pop the overarching thing? Like
kind of overarching genre, but there's lots of good stuff. Lots of good.
Okay, all right.
But I could get stuff. I don't know what 80s Asian music. 80s like from Vietnam or Japan.
Ooh.
People. The kids really like retro Japanese songs from like the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the TikToks a lot.
Wow. What's a retro Japanese song from the 80s? I don't even know. I know it's too late. Too late.
We'll look up an example later.
This will be a discussion for tomorrow's show.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious. I'd like to find out. What that sounds like.
Yeah.
I've been in the mood to travel. Lisa asked yesterday. I said this to Lisa, my wife. And she said, "Where would you go?" And I'd say, Japan.
Of course.
And last night I was watching like these tours of these tiny apartments in Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, that looks so cool.
I was just watching one of my YouTubers. She's trying to get a house in Tokyo.
Wow.
And they're really nice.
Yeah. Like a full size house.
Yeah, but like renting it, and it's like $5,000 a month. But she's probably splitting it with her other YouTuber fiance now.
Wow. A house, like a full-size house.
Yeah.
$5,000. That's probably on par with places like New York and San Francisco. Of course, Tokyo
Really?
would be like that.
It's like 10 minutes away from this. It depends on how far away from the station you are, is how expensive.
Is that really? That's so
what they
cool.
say a lot.
Oh,
how
wow.
expensive the place is.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. That's
Yeah.
cool. All right.
All right.
That's it for me and for us. I'm going to sign off now and go about my day, which is going to be, I think, more tax work I have to do. I'm going
It's
to.
nice, though.
It's very nice, but I do have an injured foot. I got a nurse for a little bit, so I'll keep it low key today. And then this week we're getting out because the rain has stopped. I wanted to just we'll do the weather forecast here real quick. This is amazing. I love this forecast. Sunny today with a high of 56, winds out of the northwest of 15 miles an hour. Partly cloudy this evening with a little more clouds overnight. Overnight low 47. Tomorrow mainly cloudy, a high near 55. It is, all that's out the window right now. Literally, get it? But it's all out because right now we are 60 degrees downtown Crescent City. I'm looking at the 10-day forecast. Look at that. How many inches of rain in the forecast? None. None. There's no rain in the forecast over the next 10 days.
Where's the cloud? The clouds went away. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Tomorrow it's going to be mostly cloudy. Yeah, well, it was supposed to rain all day yesterday too, and that didn't happen. So, if spring has truly sprung here, I'm very, very, very happy.
Yeah.
But so get out and enjoy it. I'm going to get out and walk the dog around, and I don't know, maybe I'll go see what Billy Kay's doing down at Paragon and get a coffee. I like doing that nowadays. There's a place to go get a coffee downtown Crescent City.
Right.
Yeah, that's all. Anything else? You got anything?
No, that's about it.
All right.
For today.
For today, there will be more.
Yeah.
You're tuned to KFUG LP Crescent City 101.1 FM online, kfogradio.org.
Today's broadcast is underwritten in part by one of the coolest people we know, Thomas Kellum. His work for the LGBTQ plus community is making Del Norte a better place. So's his support of KFUG Community Radio. Thanks, Thomas.
Calling all older adults of Humboldt and Del Norte County,